This camera here is an entry-level Digicam made by Olympus in 2006, the Olympus X-715 or FE-115, depending on in which market it was sold. Now, this camera I got because it came with an SD card. I had been looking for one for a while, and this one happened to have a 2 GB one in it. And yeah, at quite a good price as well. But I actually ended up liking this camera when I started using it. I mean, it's not super spectacular or anything, but it was quite nice, even though it's an entry-level camera. If you look at the basic specs, well, then we can notice that the camera has 5 megapixels. It's written in big text in the front, as it was common at that time. Of course, you're supposed to remove the stickers, but I don't know, it's kind of nice also when they are left on sometimes. And yeah, it also has 2.8 times zoom, and yeah, the screen on the back is quite small. There is no viewfinder, but then again, usually the viewfinders are kind of useless on these small cameras. And well, besides using XD cards, it also has a 28 megabyte internal storage, so if you cannot find an XD card, well, then it's better than nothing, I suppose. But yeah, I've used this camera for taking all sort of random photos now and then. I mean, where I would normally not have a big camera with me or, well, try to do any serious photography, so to speak. Some of the nice things about this camera is that it has a lens stabilizer. So you can take photos in quite dark environments so they don't turn out blurry, so that's quite nice. The exposure and white balance are quite good. I mean, I didn't have to fight with the white balance of the camera. I didn't have to take like several photos to make it choose the right white balance, so that's quite likable. Now the exposure, when using it in snow, it has this tendency to like either overexpose or underexpose, so that's a bit weird. But yeah, otherwise the exposure was quite fine. It also has some fun features like a super macro mode and a panorama mode. I didn't try the panorama actually, I should go and do that before I edit the video, but yeah, I'll put it in here if I made that. So when it comes to the bad things about the camera, well, one thing is that you cannot change the Jpeg settings. So, I mean, you cannot add more saturation or contrast or less sharpness or anything like that. So yeah, you're stuck with the, well, default settings of the camera. I would like to put the color up a little bit more. And it is very slow to take pictures with it. I mean, you have to like hold it down, then you take the picture, then it writes, still writing. Yeah, so it takes maybe 5 seconds or so for it to write the picture. If you use the highest quality, if you have a bit lower quality, well, then it goes faster. But yeah, it's not very good image quality already with this camera, so I prefer to use the highest 5 megapixel. One thing that is fun to do with these cameras is to look back at the old reviews, because you can find them very easily on the internet. You don't have to dig through old magazines like with film cameras. About this camera, I found an interesting review from a site called whatdigitalcamera.com. And well, they are not very optimistic about this camera at all. Yeah, so to quote them directly, they say that ignore the promise of high resolution. This isn't even as good as 2005's 3 megapixel models. And then the second thing that I chose to quote is the 5 megapixel Olympus FE-115 is specifically designed to be simple to operate, yet it fails to inspire. Well, yeah, well, that's true. It's easy to operate, but I don't know about fails to inspire. I mean, it depends on what expectations you have, really. They also point out that purple fringing is a problem with this lens, and I didn't really pay attention to that when I was taking pictures, but yeah, now when I look closer at the photos, yeah, there definitely is some purple fringing. In 2006, it would definitely have been a valid critique, but today you don't really use these cameras for their high superior image quality, so it doesn't really matter. It's maybe on the opposite, it's like a bonus if there are like defects, optical defects and other things. So let's move on to the last part, the video mode. As many cameras from this time, this one also has video. And to use it, well, you just move over the function wheel to the well, film camera symbol, like movie camera symbol, and well, press record. There are no settings or anything you can change. It doesn't even have sound. And the quality of the video, well, it is quite terrible. In fact, it is really, really bad. Abysmal, you could even call it. But at the same time, there's something quite fascinating about it. The rawness of this video quality is really like, I don't know, like captivating, maybe. Yeah, I'm not used to seeing video this bad quality. And the CCD glitches you get are quite heavy as well. I mean, when you overexpose, the whole line goes like blank, goes white. So yeah, not something you would make the next Hollywood blockbuster with, but I could see some uses of this. You could use it for effect. And yeah, I already know what I will do next with this camera, but I think I will save that for another video. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye!